In this today, I will read in page 6, and today I will read page 7. I have written a good idea about the members of my family, but then they were still alive. My mother and my brothers, and I
Còn có gì thế
around
suốt
them,
ngày thấy đậu phộng.
skirt around all these things without really talking to them. The story of my life doesn't exist,
Mỗi ngày
do
bắt đầu
not
kiểu
exist. There was never any center to it, no part, no line. There are great space when you are
con của
pretender.
nó ngày mới sinh nhật.
There used to be someone, but it's not true. There were no one. The story of one small part of my junk I have already written.
Lo thật,
More or less, I
lắm
mean,
vậy.
enough to keep a whisper of it. Of this part, I mean the part of the
Còn mà gì á?
crossing of the river. That I'm doing now is both different and the same.
Hòm nhựa à?
Before I spoke of clear periods, their own quick the light
Con
fear.
sắt tha từ ấy.
Now
À con sắt.
I'm talking about the hidden
Con
streeter
sắt tha rồi quay
of
ra.
that same young, of certain fate, feelings, events that I buried. I started to write in a surrounding that drove me to resist. Reading for their people was still something moral. Nowadays, it often seems writing is nothing at all. Something I realized that if my writing isn't own thing or constraint confounder. Rung cả. A quest for verity and voice in nothing. Just if it not a term or thing confounder
Việt
into
Nam
the
hơn.
one throw some inexpressible ex- accenture, then writing in nothing, just advertisement. But easily I have no opinion. I can see that all options are open now. That there seems to be no more variety and writing seems that a lot of for somewhere to hidden, to be written, to be rich. Just the basics unstabilized, it no longer accepted. But that's the point I stopped thinking about it. Now I see what when I were very young, 18, 15, I really hard to say that I the one I acquired talk during in my age, during a complete that goal did not. It also served to kill me, to kill. I acquired that drinker face before I drank. Drink only confirmed the space for excited me and knew it the same as other people. But strangely, it advanced, just as space extends in me for desire. Um, I don't know. At the age of 15, at the age of 15, I had a phase of pressure, and that I had no noticed of pressure. There were no mis- there were no mistaking the space. Even my mother must have seen it. My brother did. That's how everything started for me. With that fragrant hostess face, the ring around the eye in advance of time and experience. I'm 15 and a half, crossing the river, going back to Saigon. I feel I'm going to on journey, especially when I face the bird. And in this morning, I have taken in bus from Sadet, where my mother in the her mistress of girls' school is the end of some school vacation. I forgot week. I have spent it in little house provided with my mother's dog. And today I'm going back to Saigon to the boarding school. The natives burst Lansdowne Marquet's place inside it. As usual, my mother came to see me off and put me in the care of the driver. The way put me in the care of Saigon bus drivers in the care of an accident or a fight or a rapper or an attack by pirate and mistake or ferry as your driver has me sit near him in the front in the section received for passenger white passenger hành khách da trắng. I think I would during this journey that image became detached, removed from all the red. Is my hair extent a photograph might have been taken, just like any other. Somewhere else it other Christian stance, but it wasn't. The subject was too slight. Who could have thought abstract a thing? The photograph could only have taken if someone could have known in advance how important it would be in my life. That's crossing of the river. But while I were happening, no one knew, no one ever knew of, no one even knew of its existence except Go. And that's why I couldn't have been otherwise. The image doesn't exist. It were automatic, forgotten. It never were detached or removed from all the red. And it through this failure to have been created, just the image over the viewer of representing the being the creator or an absolute. So it's during the crossing of the branch of Mekong on the ferry just between Vĩnh Long and Sa Đéc. It's the great plain of mud, rice in southern Korean Chinese, the plain of the bird. I get off the bird. I go over to the right. I look at the river. My mother sometimes tell me that I never. My mother sometimes tell me that never in my whole life saw I ever again see river as beautiful as big and wide as there. The Mekong and its tributaries growing down to the sea. The great region of water sun to disappear into clear ocean. In the surrounding frontiers, stretching as fast as the I can see. The river flow fast as if the earth. I don't know. I always get off the bus when we reach the ferry, even at night, because I'm always afraid the cavern might break and we might be swept out to sea. In this terrible current, I watch my last moment. The current so strong It could carry everything away. Roast, a city, a cathedral, Cathedral. I don't know. I don't know this word. There is storm brewing inside the water. A wine cracking. I'm wearing a dress, a breast skill, a breast skill, skill từ lụa nào gì nhỉ? Skill. But it's Britain. It's almost transparent. It's usually to belong. It's used to belong to my mother. One day she decided the color was too light for her and she gave it to me. It's either dressed with a very long neck, very low, low neck, with dressed with a very low neck. It's the sapphire color dress sing take on with wear. This a dress I remember. I think it's still me. I'm wearing a leather with it. Perhaps it's belonging no one belonging to one of my brother. I can't remember the shoe I used to wear in this day on a certain dress. Most of the time I wore Cavan standard. No stocking. I'm speaking of time before high school in Saigon. Since then, of course, I have always worn shoes. This particular day, I must be wearing the famous pair of gold high heels. I can't see any other I could have been wearing, so I'm wearing them. Final reduction brought for me by my mother. I'm wearing the gold lamb sword to school. Lamb sword từ tiếng từ từ này là từ tiếng Pháp. I'm wearing the gold lamb sword to school. Going to school in evening sword decorated with little flowers. I insist on wearing them. I don't like myself in any other, and to this day I still like myself in them. The heel, high heel. Their high heel are the first in my life. They are beautiful. They have eclipse, eclipsed all through that went before. That first one for playing and running about. Make up white cavans. Okay, this is the end of test 11. Bye bye and see you next time. I think I will read it in page 17. Bye bye and see you next day. Yeah.